So I'm currently behind the wheel of the 2020 Chevrolet Corvette C8, the convertible one, but I'm going to showcase the interior of this thing, and it's pretty nice. So like normal, I'm going to start from left to right. So over on the left, you have your normal window switches. You have the button to put the roof down, and you have a button to put the rear window down for when you don't want the roof to go down, but you still want to hear this really great V8. Down low, there is a parking button as well as a dim switch for your gauges. And speaking of those gauges, it's a really great crisp 12-inch display. I have it currently set on the more performance track-oriented screen, but let me switch it between a less track-focused, maybe on tour. So this could be the the base, not performance oriented screen. Go to sport, changes it up a little bit, but in my opinion the best screen is the track oriented one. You have the nice bar tack at the top. Your gear position will display where the P is. I'm currently in park, obviously. Nice smallest as it can be miles per hour, because driver focused, you want to just really know what RPM you're at and what gear you're in. You got all your temps, tire pressure sensor over on the left, and usually I leave it to where I have like the little performance screen. So let me go all the way over to the left. You have your trip counters, trip 1, trip 2, fuel economy, trip computer, and current drive cycle. You got performance, which will have the G-force meter. If I scroll up, there's a lap timer, which is pretty cool. You can just push start it and basically tell how fast you're going on track. And a 0 to 60 timer, which starts based on how fast you go. You got your little audio settings, nothing really mentioned there. Maintenance, so you got your oil and fluid life, and then your engine life, which is cool because it tells you how many times the engine has flipped over. And this is just the options. This is where I swapped out the different screens. And there's a simplify option as well. Let me put it back on what I normally leave it, which is the performance screen. So let me back out a little. This is how I was controlling that, just going left to right on the steering wheel right here. Up, down, and then left, right if I needed to. You got your phone settings, you got volume control, so it's cool. This is kind of driver oriented too. Instead of you thinking you're going to push down like with much of this, you pull like it's a paddle basically from behind. Same with the favorite buttons on the side. You have your cruise control settings on the left, and one of the great features of the C8 is the cool Z button, which I will show you how to set that. But basically you push it, push it and it lights up red, which is really cool. But then based on settings you put in the screen, I'll show you, well, it's pretty much on the screen now, but I'll show you how to do that. And based on that, when you push this button is what it does. So obviously it just went a little louder because I prefer it to be a little louder. So let me back out on the screen. Let me go back to home. So you got your normal audio, phone, Wi-Fi hotspots, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. I could probably bore you with how many times you probably hear that. You got apps, you got OnStar, Climate, My Chevrolet, and this is just the music screen. So going to settings, you have Z mode, My mode. So where I was changing, you can change what you want that Z mode button to do, basically like the M button in a BMW, if you are aware of that. But this is a first for Chevrolet to put the Z button or Z mode. And there's also My mode, which I'll show you where you can change that. It's not via a button, and you can change it to be a lot, if you wanted My mode to be more quiet, pulling in your neighborhood. And there's more traction or more settings for climate and things of that nature. So below that is the traction control button, the driver modes toggle, and then your buttons for normal driving. So park, neutral, reverse is a little, you pull this tab. Drive, you pull this tab, and if once you go into drive, if you want to drive manually with the paddles, which are nice behind the steering wheel. You just push the little button. So I'll go more in depth on the drive modes, but basically you just toggle it and it'll put it in the different modes up on top. It's a track, and then going from track, sport, tour, then there's my mode, which is what I just showed you, and then there's weather, but Z mode is only turned on by the button, which is cool. So to the right of that is the long strip of HVAC controls. So when I was getting the keys to this thing, I knew this was kind of controversial, but I've actually found that it's a lot easier if you're looking for something and you don't know where it is first time in your car, to quickly look from north to south until you find it, versus seeing like multiple rows in front of you to find what you quickly need. I found it was a lot easier to hop in this car and quickly, oh, where's the fan control? And then I easily was able to find that. So I am actually a fan of this, and now that I know where everything is, it's even easier. You have cup holders to the left of that, which you can hide. I usually just store my phone there. Behind that, you have a nice little cubby hole. Comes with a cleaning rag to clean the screen. Behind that, you have a nice Stingray branding. This thing features Bose speakers throughout the cabin. And you can fit like a bottle, phone back here. It has some little grip texture. These are the seats. Really nice. So this also came with the optional blue seat belts, which are really cool. Give you a view of the passenger side. So there's no door latch. What you do is once the car is unlocked, you push this button basically hard enough to start opening the door. And if the electronics somehow fail, there's also a switch latch to pull the door open. This is the window in the rear that I said was able to be put down by the window switch if you don't want the roof to fully go down. It's really cool to hear the car. Obviously there's a nice 6.2 liter V8 behind you, so why not hear it? You got your normal OnStar SOS buttons that you find in a lot of Chevys. But that is the interior of the C8, particularly the convertible version. So if I missed out on some feature you really like, let me know in the comments. I'd love to chat about it. Thanks for watching.